joining Morgan State as a vice president, I asked the president one day, could you tell me what distinguishes me from others who may have applied for this position? And he said this: we turn over every rock that we could find about you in Tuskegee. One thing that became very clear, you had a tremendous record as a leader and as a community servant. And that's why we selected you. I was at Morgan 4.5 years. 2 years into that experience, a neighbor approached me one day and said to me, Wright, I'm on the board of trustees at Virginia Union University. The longtime president is about to retire. I would like to nominate you for that position. May I do so? I was flattered because I had never been approached by anyone regarding being a college president. And I said to him, let me call my mentor, who was the president of Tuskegee, and I'll get back to you. When I called Dr. Foster, he commended me, and then he began to give me advice. His first bit of advice was, the last thing you need to know, that the presidency now is a field all to itself. And if you choose to bid for a presidency, you should know that at least half of the individuals who will be applying will be sitting presidents. So it is very competitive. Point two, the presidency is not a job, it's a calling. For you are called to be of service 24/7. And if you're not committed to accepting a calling, don't do it. Thirdly, in order to be successful as a college president, you must be able to lead leaders. You cannot be an expert in all functional areas, but you must be able to lead other experts. And until you feel that you're able to do that, don't do it. And finally, he said to me, be sure your family supports you, for the divorce rate is rather high among college presidents. After listening to Dr. Foster and pondering the decision, I elected to not have my name go in for nomination, primarily because I wanted to be sure that I could lead the leaders. So it was another 2.5 years before I made the decision to seek another opportunity to lead Morgan State University. I applied to 2 institutions. First, to Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton, Florida, as the vice president for administrative affairs. It would have been a lateral move, but to a much larger institution. The second institution that I applied to was Schenectady County Community College in the State University of New York system in Schenectady, New York. Both of the advertisements in the Chronicle seemed to describe me, and I was invited to interviews at both places. I was offered positions at both places, at Florida Atlantic and also at Schenectady County Community College. I finally accepted the offer at Schenectady, and the president of Florida Atlantic, who was a personal friend of mine, told me I was making the right decision. For, he says, as I look at your record, you are ready to be a college president. Schenectady County Community College. I had never worked in a community college before. However, I made this decision. If there were 2 individuals who had applied for the presidency at a traditional 4-year institution, and all things being equal, 2 individuals surfaced as finalists, me being one, And I have been an adjunct instructor, professor, since my days at Tuskegee. And so I say to persons who are aspiring to go up, never miss the opportunity to move into the classroom. I was at Schenectady for 3.5 years, and then received a call from some people down here in Dallas to come to Dallas to serve as the president of Bishop College, because I was and still am a Baptist minister, and Bishop was a Baptist college. I saw that as a calling, a venue for service. And so I regretfully left Schenectady and came to Dallas to be president of Bishop College. That was a trying experience, somewhat similar to what you read about regarding Paul Webb, lack of resources. And after 3 years, I concluded that I could not legally manufacture money. Therefore, it was time for me to leave. And I was invited to interview for 2 openings in the Dallas district, the presidency of Eastville and the presidency of El Centro. And they selected me as the president of El Centro. And for 20 years, I served there and had all the intention in the world to retire from serving at El Centro for 20 years. When something unexpected happened, the chairman of the board, the board of trustees, called one day and says, "Right, we're going to be making a change. We have made a decision. We have made a decision. When that change occurs, not if it occurs, we want you to assume the role of interim chaplain. No search, no discussion with me as to would you do this. We have decided." Because I had invested 20 years in the Dallas district, I felt compelled to ensure that my investment was enhanced as well as protected. And so I said that I will accept if the time comes. I would accept it under these conditions. One, I have 2.5 years remaining on my contract. I would like to be the chancellor for 2.5 years. And I don't want to be the caretaker. I want to have the full authority to be the chancellor. Are you in agreement with that? And they said yes. They said yes to everything I asked for because they need to make a change. And then I walked across the street from El Centro